Is from the 2018 Junior Cert paper. So it's on the Earth's surface. So we're talking about rocks. So the first question reads here, state whether photograph A is igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. So this here it's limestone pavement. We've our clints and our grikes there. It's limestone. We know limestone is sedimentary. State whether photograph B is igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. It's basalt. It's the Giant's Causeway, and basalt is an igneous rock. So really, just need to know your rock names and what type they are. So an example of a sedimentary rock, we've already set up here limestone. If you want to talk about limestone, I personally prefer to talk about sandstone. So I'm going to show you here my answer. So 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark for saying that. Right. Sandstone is formed from the compressed remains of sediment, right? So compressed remains, ST2, from other rocks and shells, right? Rocks and shells. Development 1. Rocks are worn / weathered, and their sediment travels along the river, so along like the top of the river. They sink to the bottom, D1, of the river's bed, and over time, an accumulation, so like a build up, basically, if that's what that means, of rock becomes compacted and compressed to form a new rock, sandstone. And that's that. Okay. And then describe and explain how sedimentary rock named in part 3 above was formed. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's that part. Sorry. So basically, it says here for 3, name an example named. So, by the way, just name one. I just wanted to let you know that limestone was one. Okay, so now we're going to go down to weathering here. So we're keeping away from rocks and we're going to weathering. Explain with the aid of a label diagram how rocks are weathered by frost action. So frost action, you're going to talk about freeze thaw action. My label diagram, 1, 2, 3, LD2, label diagram 2. So here, sun, show daytime, water is collected in the cracks of rocks, statement 2, right? Nighttime, so when temperatures drop below 0 degrees, the water freezes. And here we have ice. Over time, the rock begins to widen, D1, due to the freezing and thawing at daytime. If it thaws, it's daytime. It's gotten warmer. It widens that is supposed to say the rock. My bad, sorry. By 10%, D1. This makes the cracks bigger and more strain is on the rock. So it kind of gets wider and it gets there is more strain in it. Eventually, after a while, all these rocks basically are just they've chipped off, they've worn off. The rock eventually widens so much that it breaks, D1, and sediment here is called scree. So ST2, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then LD2 is 10 marks. That is part 1A and 1B.